Hello, I'm Sschrader, and I'm going to be the Libertarian presidential nominee. The first half of the 20th century was a nightmare for the human race because the governments of the day were fixated on attempting to solve 20th century problems with 19th century fixes. And the reason that our country and the world is in such a state today is because the governments are attempting to solve 21st century problems with 20th century fixes. Take America, for example, and the appearance of major racism across the country. Now, back in the 60s and 70s, the fact that blacks, on the average, didn't do as well as whites and were way overrepresented in our prison population was because of racism. But that's no longer the fact today. Today, the reason that this is so is, well, economic. The fact is that since its inception in the 60s, welfare has included a marriage penalty, wherein a couple lose benefits when they marry compared to what they received as separate individuals. In other words, for, over half a century, the federal government has been financially incentivizing single parenthood. The problem here is that over 60, almost 70% of both the youths and the adults incarcerated for violent crimes come from single parent households. The reason for this is that while a woman doesn't have to have a man in her life, her children do. Children have to have a strong father figure actively engaged in their lives to teach them what a good man is and how he behaves. And yes, there's a lot more whites on welfare than blacks. However, the whites on welfare tend to be more scattered and rural, while the blacks on welfare tend to be concentrated in our inner cities, where these communities have acted as, laboratory petri dishes, growing the problem exponentially to the, near genocidal black-on-black crime rate we have today. Now, so long as particularly liberals, continue to insist that this is based on racism, it's never going to be fixed. And so long as conservatives insist that, there's no racism, so there's nothing to fix here. Yes, there is something that needs to be fixed. So I propose a 21st century solution to this problem. And that is that we, end the marriage penalty in welfare. And the other one is that we match up welfare recipients with jobs. Hey, we should take advantage of a really hot economy going and the incredibly low unemployment rate, right? But we match them up with jobs that they're capable of doing and then assist them in moving to where the jobs are. That way they move directly off from welfare, become self-supporting, and we start breaking up the communities that are slaughtering our black youth. Your choice. I know this is the democratic power base I'm talking about, and it's a direct assault on that power base. But you have a choice. Democratic power and continued black genocide are solving the problem. Choose wisely. If you'd like to see the other videos in this series, you can go to my campaign website, Sschrader, Schrader, for president, 2020.com. And I thank you for your time, and goodbye.